she went to one of the freak-offs, but they said that it was a rapper who was married, and everybody, all the information that came out, it was pointing to Kanye West.
Is it true that you were at the Halloween party that Puff's son and Ray J got into it?
I was, yes.
You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus. And you're the one told a guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore.
Katt Williams has never been the type to bite his tongue. Every time he hits that stage or opens his mouth, you know he's about to drop something wild. Truth, comedy, and straight-up reality checks all rolled into one. Over the years, Katt's been one of the few who dares to call out the dark side of Hollywood. He said it over and over, fame ain't free. According to him, every celebrity glowing under them bright lights has paid a price the public could never imagine. Some lose their peace, some lose their sanity, and some, he says, lose the ones they love most. Now, Katt's got his sights set on Kanye West, or as he's now known, yeah. Katt claims that Kanye's success didn't come without major sacrifice. He believes Ye was pushed into making an unthinkable decision, a choice that led to the tragic loss of his mother, Donda West, and years of emotional pain that's haunted him ever since. Katt swears Kanye's story ain't just about talent and fame, it's a warning about how the industry manipulates, breaks, and controls the ones who climb too high. Katt paints a chilling picture of an industry that uses fear and tragedy to keep its stars in line. And when you start connecting the dots, from Donda's mysterious death to Kanye's ties with Diddy's disturbing world of secret parties, suddenly, Katt's words don't sound so crazy anymore. They sound like a coded message, one we were never meant to hear. In June 2025, Kanye shocked everyone by showing up at Sean Diddy Combs' high-profile trial. Diddy, once one of the most untouchable men in entertainment, was facing a storm of charges, including trafficking, racketeering, and coercion. Kanye walked into that Manhattan courthouse dressed in all white, cameras flashing everywhere. When reporters pressed him about why he was there, he simply said one word: yes. That single word hit like a thunderclap. While nearly every celebrity in the industry was sprinting away from Diddy after those dark accusations, Kanye did the opposite. He walked straight into the chaos.
It was pointing to Kanye West. And then it so happened the next day he comes up there. This is the same guy that got on, and I don't want to blow nobody else's platforms, or got on Drink Champs about a year or so ago before Diddy was arrested, talking about Diddy was a fed. You understand? F Diddy and all this other stuff like that. And then he talked all kind of crazy about Diddy. And that's how these dudes in this industry do, man. They ain't got no loyalty to themselves, bro. So by him going on there, and now they say him and Diddy made amends and stuff like that. Remember I think he did a t-shirt, a shirt or something to say free Puff and all this other stuff. So Kanye is on he's looking for the attention, and for him to be mentioned in the trial, and they didn't let it go through, because the reason they didn't let it go through is because they said it wasn't pertinent to the charges that Puff was facing. So what happened, Jane went to Vegas, and she was invited by allegedly Kanye West and his wife and them and everything like that. And they went to plays, they went to show, they went out to eat and everything. And then later on that night, they went to a hotel room, whereas there was some other couples in there too and some other people. And there wasn't a freak off, but it was one of the guys who does the freak off with her there, and they were all sitting around watching and drinking while this guy was having with another worker or whatever like that, and while all them just watching him have and stuff. I guess it's some rich people industry that they do, but they were just sitting around watching this dude have a live porn section right there in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So she started talking about that incident in court. And that's how Kanye West's name came up. And which they didn't say his name, but they said his name because it was an objection done. You know how they do objection overrule, all this other stuff like that. So they said it was a rapper who married. They gave a description of it and it pointed straight to Kanye. And then it so happened the next day he goes up in the courtroom with Diddy and them son. That's just crazy, bro.
To some, it looked like loyalty. To others, it looked like proof he was still tied to the same powerful circle Katt Williams has been exposing for years. Katt calls it the system, a machine that hands out fame but demands silence in return. And when you remember Kanye once accused that very same system of controlling artists through manipulation and fear, his sudden reappearance at Diddy's trial feels downright chilling, because behind that white outfit and quiet stare was a man who's seen the cost of fame up close. Back in November 2007, Kanye's beloved mother, Donda West, passed away after complications from cosmetic surgery, a moment that changed him forever. The loss of Donda West shattered Kanye to his core. He stopped touring, pulled away from the world, and even admitted publicly that he blamed himself. He told crowds straight up, if I had never moved to Los Angeles, she'd still be alive. That wasn't just pain talking. It was guilt mixed with realization. And Katt Williams noticed it immediately. To Katt, that moment represented something much bigger than grief. He's long claimed that in Hollywood, when someone climbs too high, something precious always gets taken. He calls it the ritual of loss, a dark trade-off where some stars are tested through humiliation, while others are tested through tragedy.
And see, that's when I knew that Kanye's mom, Kanye would have never wanted Donda dead. Not even by natural causes. I was happy when he finally accepted it, because they sacrifice your loved ones whether you agree or not. See, sometimes you agree and they put you in position, you know? But sometimes you disagree and they take them anyway to show you what the harm is. You know, it's Giovanni. His death is why I do what I do.
Katt truly believes Kanye's meteoric rise right after his mother's passing was no coincidence. In his own words, they don't let you rise without payment. And looking back, the timeline feels eerie. Because after Donda's death, Kanye's fame exploded. He went from just another superstar to a full-blown global icon, an unstoppable cultural force. But behind all the lights, luxury, and applause was a man still haunted by what he'd lost. Years later, Kanye would admit something that left everyone speechless. He said he believed his mother's death was tied to his fame. He claimed her passing felt like a sacrifice made in exchange for his success, and he even drew comparisons to other stars who lost loved ones under strange or tragic circumstances. To Katt, this wasn't a wild theory, it was a confession hiding in plain sight. Long before the billionaire headlines and presidential runs, Kanye was in a fiery relationship with model Amber Rose. Their 2-year romance was tabloid gold, but what came after exposed something darker. Amber later revealed that Kanye tormented her for years after their breakup, calling her names and trying to destroy her reputation. But then she dropped a bombshell that made everyone look twice. Amber confessed she'd attended several of Diddy's infamous private parties, the same ones that have now become the center of lawsuits and explosive testimonies. She claimed she was at every single one, describing them as shocking, filled with A-list faces caught up in behavior that left her speechless. And that's what makes the whole thing even more unsettling, because Amber met Kanye through the same music circles Diddy dominated. Those secretive parties, now linked to multiple legal cases, seem to connect some of the most powerful names in entertainment. And Kanye's close presence in that mix suddenly makes Katt's warning sound terrifyingly real.
You've A&R'd for Ye.
Absolutely.
You've A&R'd for
I put
Wiz.
Nicki on Monster. I put Nicki on Monster.
You could just stop there. You can stop there, right?
I put Nicki on Monster. He didn't know who Nicki was back then. I had Nicki pull up to the studio and I put her on Monster.
Because you guys were, I think me, you, and you guys were super close at that particular time, right?
Right, but she was still coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
And
was.
I saw her in the studio and I said, oh my God, this bitch is talented as hell. And then I went back to Kanye and I was like, you need to get this girl Nicki on Monster. And he was like, who, what? No, I'm not, no, mm-mm. And I said, just let her pull up. What's it gonna hurt?
She did a thing.
So he didn't listen to anything that she had done. She just pulled up and like with that verse.
Well, she pulled up and we all had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She heard the song and then she came back the next day with the verse.
And he almost wanted to take the verse off.
Because it was too good.
Because
It was too good.
He slid on that.
Yeah, he told me that the same day.
Did
He's
you-
like, how the did you bring in a bitch that killed me on my own song?
Then came October 2024, when Kanye's former assistant, Lauren Pisciata, filed a bombshell lawsuit. She accused him of assault during a studio session he co-hosted with Diddy. Court documents claim Kanye gave her a drink that made her lose consciousness, and that the session felt less like music making and more like one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. That revelation tied everything together in a way nobody could ignore. The pain, the power, the parties, and the price of fame. Lauren Pisciata's lawsuit blew the doors wide open. It linked Kanye straight to Diddy's secret world. In her complaint, she claimed Kanye used his fame and influence to intimidate and manipulate, describing the whole studio culture around him as toxic. His legal team quickly fired back, denying everything and calling it all lies motivated by greed. But here's the thing. This wasn't the first time Kanye faced these kinds of accusations. In 2024, another former employee had already accused him of harassment and inappropriate behavior that same year. For Katt Williams, all these lawsuits weren't random. They were signals. He believes that once a star starts pushing back against the system, the same machine that made them rich and famous turns around and tries to destroy them. They get discredited, accused, and isolated until the world turns on them. And in Katt's eyes, that's exactly what's happening to Kanye right now.
And I'm not saying no freak off parties, just the regular parties. He wanted to be known. So, you know, he was doing music for everybody, and he was doing music for Diddy. So I could see him being a supporter, but then when they all got big and started getting a lot of money and everything like that, they started going at each other crazy. You understand? And he felt like that because I believe Puff was the one probably introduced him to Kim Kardashian, if I'm not mistaken. I think Puff had something to do with him getting with Kim Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Because she used to mess with a couple of dudes, a dude from BMF first, and she was around, so I would presume that Kim and Kanye West was all right back in the day, and then when they started getting money and they started going at each other and stuff like that, and then Kanye fell out with the Kardashians, and none of the people that he thought was supposed to be cool with him helped him, so he just started going at everybody. So it was strange after that whole drink trap, and then, you know, when Diddy got arrested, he did say some things because the government, he may look at the fact the government may come after him. So he may become an ally of Diddy's, but everybody that's gonna be around him gonna go down, man. This crazy, man. You gotta realize that he has no way out of this, bro. He has no way out of this. It either had to be a mistrial but then if it's a mistrial, they still go back to the drawing board. You understand? That don't mean he gets out of jail. They just do another trial date. So I believe, and my prediction on this, that was just all show for Kanye to come up in there. You understand? The jurors, if you know anything about the jury and having Kanye to support you, I don't even think that's a good thing. But maybe they think it is. It's gonna, throw something, some kind of public opinion Diddy's way. It's stupid. That would be one of the last persons I would have coming up there to support me, knowing his relationship with the Jewish population, the stuff that he said about the Jewish population. Why would you have that man come up in the court and say anything in your behalf?
Both Katt and Kanye have spoken openly about what they call a hidden force, a power that controls the biggest names in the industry. Kanye once even dropped screenshots of text messages from his personal trainer, who allegedly threatened to have him institutionalized. That same trainer wasn't just a fitness guy. He had a background in psychological research, which instantly made fans wonder how deep this control really goes. How many handlers are out there pulling strings behind the scenes? Katt has said the same thing in his own words. He described how some entertainers are surrounded by people who pretend to protect them, but are really there to monitor and control them. He said these so-called handlers keep them obedient, stop them from speaking real truth, and if they ever break rank, they're destroyed in public. And when you think about it, Kanye's public meltdowns, unpredictable interviews, and sudden religious awakening all start to look different when seen through that lens. Maybe he wasn't spiraling out of control. Maybe he was fighting to regain it. Maybe every outburst was a desperate act of rebellion against the system that tried to silence him. Then came one of the most disturbing revelations from Diddy's ongoing trial. A woman identified only as Jane testified that she was coerced into intimate acts while dating Diddy and mentioned taking a trip to Las Vegas with a famous rapper described as an icon in the music industry.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard, you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard, you. You know what I'm saying? I don't get because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that, and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all shut the up about me. Now let me say it calm. You shut the up about Michael.
The court didn't reveal the rapper's name, but fans online started connecting the dots fast. The timeline, the details, even the type of event all seemed to point toward Kanye West. Reports describe dinners, strip clubs, and exclusive hotel parties where the lines blurred and cameras rolled. If that connection holds any truth, it suggests Kanye was far more entangled in Diddy's hidden circle than most people ever realized. And that's exactly what Katt Williams has been warning about for years. He's claimed those private parties weren't about fun or celebration. They were tests, secret initiation gatherings where rising stars were recorded, compromised, and controlled. Katt said once you've been there, you're never really free again.
Breaking news, Sean Diddy Combs was just sentenced to 50 months in federal prison. Yeah, that's right. After all of that, all that they gave him was 50 months with credit for time served, which I believe is like 13 months off of his sentence. It's another day in America and another message to victims that what they went through, what they suffered doesn't matter, and that justice will never be fully served in this country. Now, don't get me wrong. If it was you or me who got convicted of those charges and got sentenced, we definitely would have gotten more than 50 months. But Diddy is rich. Diddy is powerful. Diddy has sway with powerful elite people. And because of that, that judge just sent a message to everyone that his life is more important than the life of his victims. Somebody needs to send out a forensic accountant to check all of that judge's financials and see if he's seen any large sums of money in his bank accounts, any offshore accounts, any crypto wallets. I mean, Diddy's not coming home today, but in my opinion, 50 months is an absolute joke. What do y'all think?
Kanye's connection to those secret events, mixed with the lawsuits and the haunting mystery around his mother's death, paints a chilling picture of a man trapped deep inside the same system he once tried to expose. Katt Williams has been shouting it for years. Hollywood doesn't just reward talent, it tests loyalty through tragedy. He swears no one rises to the top without paying a heavy price. And once they do, they have to keep proving their loyalty over and over again. Katt says those who refuse to play along get punished. Some get humiliated, some get blackballed, and some just disappear. He's pointed out how the moment a celebrity starts telling uncomfortable truths, the media labels them crazy or unstable, and Katt himself has lived it. Arrests, mockery, lawsuits, you name it. But now, as the truth about Diddy's secret world leaks out, a lot of Katt's so-called wild claims are starting to sound more like predictions coming true.
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying.
Katt insists Kanye's story isn't about losing his mind. It's about waking up. He believes Kanye is trying to break a contract that's not written on paper, but sealed in pain and silence. That's a bold claim, but when you look at the timeline, it starts to make unsettling sense. The public's still split down the middle. Some think Kanye's talk about sacrifice and control comes from a place of paranoia or mental illness. Others see him as a man brave enough to expose the truth about an industry that feeds on manipulation and fear. For every person saying Kanye's lost it, there's another whispering, he finally gets it. Katt stands strong on one side. He's convinced Kanye knows too much. According to him, the same people who once built Kanye up are now working overtime to tear him down. And with Diddy's empire crumbling piece by piece, it looks like the entire system might finally be cracking open for the world to see. Just take a step back and look at the sequence. Donda's death in 2007, Kanye's fame skyrocketing right after, his connection to Diddy's hidden party circles, and then years later, lawsuit after lawsuit. Meanwhile, Katt keeps warning everyone that Hollywood is a place where silence is gold and sacrifice is currency. Every piece of this puzzle fits too cleanly to ignore. It's not just about Kanye, Diddy, or even Katt. It's about a whole structure built on greed, illusion, and control. A world where power is just a mask, and those behind it pull the strings while the rest of us watch the show.
We got to get your take on, Kanye West. He just threw out his most disturbing tweet yet, based on a song he put out, saying that he was providing fellatio to his cousin up until the age of 14. Do you feel like he's just trolling at this point, or he's really letting out some?
I think he's just telling it all. The problem is he's telling it too late. If he had been more honest about his proclivities and the thing that he got, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals involved with Kanye. There's a lot of interesting special doctors with special medicines. If he had told everybody a little sooner, now they're trying to get him fixed and all set up for a conservatorship. See, that's the problem when it comes to serving God. You can't do it halfway. You got to go all in. You can't negotiate with the devil, not even for a second. You ain't gonna have his aha moment. It hasn't gotten here yet, but it's coming. It's just sad watching how people really have a hard time just accepting the truth. These are all devil-loving sodomites who are here to make sure that our people don't break free from the system.
So when Kanye walked into that Manhattan courtroom to stand by Diddy, maybe it wasn't just about support. Maybe it was a message, a silent confession that no matter how high you climb, the shadow of the system is always right behind you. Katt Williams has been screaming the same truth for years. Fame in Hollywood ain't just about talent, it's about control. It's about who owns your image, who watches your every move, and what you're willing to lose just to keep that spotlight shining. Katt says it plain. Once you sign up for the fame game, your soul becomes the price tag. And when you look at Kanye West, that price looks unbearable. He lost his mother, his peace, and a big piece of his reputation. Yet somehow he's still fighting back, still talking, still questioning everything that once made him rich and powerful. Every time he speaks, it's like he's peeling back another layer of the truth the industry doesn't want you to hear. Maybe that's why Katt believes Kanye was forced into this battle, because in that world, silence isn't an option, and neither is freedom. The second you start speaking too loudly, the system comes for you. And if Katt's right, Kanye's not crazy, he's just refusing to play by their rules anymore. So here's the question that keeps everyone talking. Did Kanye rise because of his genius, or because he paid a price no artist should ever have to pay? And if that's true, how many more stars are paying it right now while pretending everything's fine on camera? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you believe is really going on behind those Hollywood gates? Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you never miss another deep dive. See you on the next one, fam. Stay sharp and stay real.